sending random words flashing in vivid red, green and blue. Emergency, danger, strike. It was after closing time, but Raven had asked her to stay late and help him get ready for the protest march planned for the weekend. A shaggy-haired political zealot, Raven managed this North London shop and spent the rest of his time organising a left-wing protest group. He was 33 years old, but looked younger because of the hair and the tattoos. His birth name was David Lees, but he'd changed it legally 8 years ago to the more memorable Raven Hawkhurst. In action on the streets, he was the protest equivalent of a lightweight boxer, small and relentless, jabbing black and red anarchy flags at riot police, his thin face disguised behind a checkered scarf. In person, he was resentful and paranoid, convinced the government was after him. Which, to be fair, they were. It had taken weeks working undercover for Emma to make her way into his inner circle, and even longer to get close enough to earn his trust. Almost as soon as she'd done it, though, she decided he wasn't ever going to pose any real danger. He wasn't smart enough or organised enough to bring about the revolution of his dreams. He liked the drama and distraction of a punch-up with the cops, but he was no terrorist. She'd told her bosses as much more than once, but they'd overruled her, insisting she stay and dig deeper. The group's online fundraising received a surprising amount of money funneled through a number of sources, but originating in Russia. And so here she was, stacking protest signs in a fug of patchouli. Setting the signs down, she turned back. "Sounds like the march will be massive on Saturday." In character, she gave her voice a flat-edged northern accent. Raven believed she was an activist from Manchester. He barked a bitter laugh. "You know how many people live in this city?" He didn't wait for her to answer. 14 million. You get 10,000 at a protest? That's not success. That's abject failure. Grabbing the remaining signs, he lugged them to the back without waiting for her to help. People want to drive their SUVs to their kids' private schools and think they'll save the environment by not using plastic straws. He was always morose the day before a march. Emma left him to rant and headed back to finish her work with the cans of paint as he warmed to his topic. He'd got as far as, "They'll care when we take their mansions away," when her phone vibrated. She pulled it from her pocket and glanced at the screen. It held only one word. Home. "Raven," she said, raising her voice to break through his familiar liturgy. "I've got to take this call. Be right back." There was an indignant pause, and then she heard him mutter, "Oh, typical." She hurried out onto the pavement, hitting answer as soon as the door closed. "This is Makepeace, 1075. An unfamiliar female voice said, "Hello, Emma. I've got a message from home. Are you safe to take it now?" Emma looked up and down the quiet street. There was no one nearby. "Now is fine. The message follows. Your mother is ill. She needs you urgently. Do you need me to repeat?" Emma's heart began to race, but she kept her voice cool. "Got it, thanks." When she ran back into the shop, Raven was at the front gathering the last of the paint. "I'm really sorry. I have to go home. There's an emergency." Emma raced behind the cash register to grab her bag. Exuding silent condemnation, he fixed her with a beady look. "That was me mum," she explained, giving her voice a worried tone. "She's ill and there's nobody else to look after her. I've got to go." "Ugh, fine." He gestured at the shop with an arm that had the words "No Justice" tattooed from wrist to elbow. "And I'll just do this all myself, I guess." Deliberately misunderstanding him, she cast him a grateful smile. "That'd be fab. You're a star. See you later." She hurried through the door, his words floating after her. "It was sarcasm." By then, though, she was already running towards Camden High Street, her biker boots clunking hard on the pavement. She couldn't care less about Raven right now. She was being called in. It took her just over 30 minutes to get to Westminster at full steam. There was no time to change out of her climate panic t-shirt, or to remove the torn jeans or blue hair extensions. Her appearance raised a few eyebrows on tweedy Rochester Row as she raced from